basic warm-ups. The way I like to do warm-ups is in a way that I can easily remember them in the future. So what I do is usually start from the top and work my way down. So the first one I like to do is arms up, point your fingers up, and circle. And every time you circle, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Don't worry about going fast on this. This isn't exercise or stretch or a warm-up routine about being fast. This is just about getting your muscles warmed up and going. Now this time we're going to go the other way, but as we go the other way, the circle is going to get smaller and smaller. Remember, we're not moving with our wrists or elbows, we're circling with our shoulders. Okay, good. Now the next one, take your hands, put your fingers here, touching your shoulders. Big circles. We're going to make big circles with our elbows. Again, not concerned with speed. Concerned about just good, fluid motions. Other way. Try your best in these warm-ups not to make any herky-jerky, quick motions like that. If your muscles are not warmed up, that could be bad. Okay, good. Stop. Now, tilt your head to the side. A lot of people will say you don't need to warm up because you're not able to warm up before a real life self-defense situation. I disagree with them. Well, I'm pretty sure that you're not usually able to warm up before a real life self-defense street situation. Now tilt your head back. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't warm up when you could. Head down. So warm up as much as you could, and to say what they say, to me, sounds like them saying, well, at some point in your life, you're going to be in a swimming pool where a little kid's going to pee in the swimming pool, so you should always just be in a pool that a little kid swims in or pees in the swimming pool. I think that's bad logic. So head up, look over your left shoulder. So anytime you are, if you unfortunately ever do find yourself in a real life on the street self-defense situation, tilt your head the other way. Yes, that is true. You'll probably not be able to warm up, and your performance will probably suffer for it, and later you may even get some injuries because of it. I know I have. Head straight, but hopefully we'll never be in that situation, but we can be in a regular practice workout routine, and so that will occur much more often, so you should warm up. You should stretch out. So now put your feet together, hands on your hips. Now we're going to circle with our hips. Try not to circle with your head. Big circles with your hips. It's called the hula stretch. I think it's obvious why. Other way. I find this a very helpful stretch, especially if for us older people, if you are driving a lot, you're in the car a lot, and my lower back starts to ache after a while, and I think this helps with that. I am not a doctor though, so please consult your physician. So now we're going to move down further. Stand on one foot, and the other foot's going to come up on the toes. From here, circle. Circle the other way. Good. Switch. Circle. Circle the other way. Good. Stop. Now we went from head to toe, so now we're going to kind of go back up just a little bit. So hands here, circle the wrist. Circle the other way. I've seen some instructors and some schools do it where they go back and forth and back. That's fine too, whatever works best for you. Just be really careful if you've not warmed up your wrists, stretched those out yet. If you do it very quickly in a jerking sort of motion, it might actually hurt your wrist a little bit, so go slow. Okay, good. Now, usually what I do from there is I usually go down to the ground. Hopefully you'll be indoors or in a nice spot, not outside like this, but I'm going to make the sacrifice so you learn. So we're going to be on the ground. Put your feet out. This is for the inside of the legs. You really do, if you can, want this to be stretched out, warmed up if possible. It helps movement a lot. The times that I have injured myself in sort of self-defense, real life self-defense situations where I didn't have time to warm up was always in this area here on the inside of my leg. All right, so hands up over your head. Gonna go side to side, touch both hands to one foot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Now, stay right there. In this stretch, if you bring your legs back in or bend your knees between the sets, it's almost like you have to restart, like you've lost some of your progress. So now, take one leg, stretch it back a little bit further. You can do both legs, but to me, I think it's easier just to do one leg. So hands up. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Now, take the other leg. We're doing 3 sets of this. Stretch it out just a little bit further. Hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, excellent. Now, from there, what we're going to do is take our hands, put them in front, right here. Now, if that starts to give you a little bit of a stretch, you start to feel a little bit uncomfortable at that point, that's where you need to stop. But if you can, kind of walk your hands out just a little bit further so that you lean forward a little bit further. If you still feel comfortable, go a little bit further. If you don't, stop right there. If you feel okay, go a little bit further. And remember, there's different types of pain, really. There's, well, I'm slightly uncomfortable pain. And then there's, I just heard something go snap, crackle, or pop. That second one, that's when you need to stop or take a step back. A little bit further. If you can. If you can't, that's okay. Hold where you're at. Or even retract a little bit. If you can, keep on going till you can get all the way down, forehead to the ground. Then when you're done, very slowly, come back up. Don't go fast. Now for this next one, always been a bit of a challenge for me, even when I was a kid. Pull your feet in together. Grab your feet with both hands. Stay there as you breathe in through your nose. Try to relax your legs. Do not make this like bobbing up and down motion. That actually is pretty bad for you. So just kind of relax. Stay there as you breathe in. Breathe out. Pull your forehead down. Your goal is to get your nose to your toes, if you can. But again, you get to a point where it's too uncomfortable. You hear something go snap, crackle, or pop, you should stop. Stay there as you breathe in. Breathe out. Okay. Usually you want to do that, hold that for about 10 seconds. Further if you need to, or for a longer period if you need to. Or you can do a little bit shorter time and build up to a bigger time if you like. So that's the basic warm-ups. At the end, you could even add squats and push-ups, which is what we do a lot of times in our in-person classes. All right, so now let's go to more traditional kung fu-y stuff. So this one, I've heard some people say that's used in combat. No, it is not. That is dumb. Never do it in combat. but it's a fun little skills-based drill. So grab it in the middle, put your right hand out. Put your left hand on top, palm up. So what you're going to do is spin it. You want, and this is really good for this silver tip here is going to round all the way full circle before I grab it with this left hand. All right? So eventually, you want that. Right?
I've not done that in a while.
I bet, me either. Well, I do it a lot actually. Just playing around. But I've not taught that in a long time. So this is here, left on top. So now watch. This, as I spin, my right hand's going to turn. It's going to pass my left hand. My left hand's here to grab, but when it goes by that, it's just going to pull up and then down. And it goes. See, now it's back where it started. Now my hand that did have it held in the center is going to let go. Just realize I hate loud cars like that. I don't know why they even, that's ridiculous. So, yeah, I know, I can't wait. This hand turns, then it goes around again. You've got a really good staff for that. Make sure that goes all the way around in a full circle before you grab. Okay? So again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and it's okay to kind of, if you watch me, my elbows kind of come up and down to help my wrists go where they need to go. Does that make sense? I got some weird looks. Okay, let's try it again. Right hand here, left hand up. Tip goes around, pass, then grab. Right hand turns, palm down. Pass, grab. Pass, grab. Pass, grab. Pass, grab. Pass, grab. Pass, grab. Almost. Pass, grab, keep it going.
I had to set the
Start
example.
slow.
So I had to accept the example.
There you go. Okay, excellent. Now, another traditional one. Grab it center. Here, take the tip, whatever you choose as your tip, and goes down behind your armpit, so that your right arm should be out, your left arm should be underneath your armpit. Right. Got it. Got it. Put your stick underneath your right armpit. There you go. Perfect. Now, from here, it's going to, the tip out front, the front tip, is going to dip down, then make a circle, then it's going to come underneath your left armpit. Now, you should be able to do this without letting go of the staff. You should make your hands kind of loose, but you shouldn't have to let go. Right, and crosses over and down. Crosses over and down. Don't bring it out. The front will go down. There you go. And underneath. Perfect. That's good. So front goes down. And
Dyslexic, so I have to really concentrate on right leg.
everybody I've ever taught does exactly the same thing at first. So it's here, so down.
Up, hands are up. Yeah.
So let me start back over here where you are.
Okay.
So actually do this. Everybody put your hands up front like this. Now pick one side that's going to be your main tip, okay? So let's say your left side, right? So put that underneath your right armpit. Perfect. This is how you're going to start and end every rotation. Okay? Now your right hand, right tip, front tip, is going to go to your left leg. Now let it unwind and do another big circle so that, now, yep, perfect, that's it. And then do it again.
I was trying to make the tip go a different direction.
Yeah,
Dyslexia.
that's a very common thing, common mistake. So here. Now this one is not one you would do in combat, in my opinion, so much, but it does teach you some transitioning, which I am a fan of. Okay, how's everybody feel about that? right, so now let's move on to the Singi elements. On this one, every translation I've ever seen, it always says Singi staff / spear. So it's not just a Brian thing, it's also traditional Singi. Interesting side story, in World War II, the Chinese state government, the capitalists, not the communists, when they were training soldiers, they got Singi instructors to teach soldiers how to use rifles with bayonets because it was so much like a staff or a spear, in their opinion. That's cool. All right, so the first one, what we're going to do, start left side forward. We're going to have our distance kind of grab here, and we're going to be having the spear grip, so both thumbs are going to be pointing out. Now on this, imagine someone's stabbing at you with some sort of weapon, whatever it is. So we're going to do the same motion we did earlier in warm-up, except we're going to take our back leg. So this is my front, this is my back. Take our back leg, step it behind to the side, okay? And our front foot's going to stay there. So you take your right leg, yep, perfect, just like that. Now as we do that, the front tip is going to spin around and slap down. Okay, now our left foot is going to step closer to our imaginary opponent in front of us and stab with our staff. Try. So let's imagine, so let's say Robbie is stabbing at me with his staff. Alright, so I'm stepping here, knocking it down, and step, staff, stab to the gut. Make sense? Let's try it again. So this is metal, out of the 5 elements. So here, boom, stab. There we go. So again, here, and stab. Again, step back, flat down, step, stab. There we go. One more time. So step back. Step, stab. Again, step back, slap, stab. There you go. Get that tree. Alright, so next one out of the traditional 5 element staff / spear is water. So this one we're going to hanging guard. Alright. Now this one can get very athletic if you really want it to. Yeah. So on this one you're going to step forward with your back foot. So it's going to go here. It's going to do the same motion, but it's going to slap down in front of you. Okay? Yep. Then you're going to step up with your left leg, stab to the gut. Now, if you want to be all athletic, like you're in a cool wushu tournament or something, it would be there. If you don't want to punish your knees that much, just go straight forward and stab to the face. Right? That make sense? So I don't think any of us here should be punishing our knees. Currently. So here, hanging guard. If you look at the old European staff fighting manuscripts, this is a very popular guard they have. So here, step, around, almost, step, step. This will be on the website. So if you want to practice this more over the week when you get home, it'll be up. Don't know when. It will for sure be up by next Friday. So just keep it up. All right, so again, so here. Step. Flip it over. There you go. When you come, keep on going.
No.
Go keep going and then hit down.
This was going.
Right. So here.
Keep getting my
Keep it going.
grip
Hit
wrong.
down. Boom. And then step. Step.
Was that traditionally in with the big brother?
Yes. No.
thinking of something else instead.
Oh, you're thinking wood.
There's wood?
Yeah, wood. Yeah, yeah. We'll get that in a second. So let's try it one more time.
Earth's
So,
the best though.
oh, earth off. So here?
I think it's over here.
Yeah. And, okay. So that is your water. The next one is wood. This is super simple, but it works really, really well. And again, we've got our staff grip. Both thumbs are pointing towards the end of the staff. We're going to start left side forward. You could start right side forward once you're used to it, doesn't matter. But for now, we're starting left side forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a big step with our front foot. Then our back foot steps up right next to it. Bamboo stepping, but I always call it wood stepping. There you go. Now, your right shoulder is going to thrust out, and the staff is going to go with it. Right?
That's foot flat down, not like a cat.
Correct. It's flat down. And this is basically, I want the reins to stab really hard at you, then I can pull back and I can run away or whatever. Okay. So it's here. Stab. Okay. Pull back if you want, or just end it right there. Doesn't really matter. Right. So let's try it again. Front foot takes a little step at least. You can do a big step, but you have to watch your balance on that. Step, back foot steps up. Go.
Okay, so you're just doing one step. Okay.
Right, don't step so far that you lose your balance. As long as you're doing that, you're cool. Especially when it's wet like this, like a while ago when I lost my balance a little bit, you gotta really watch for that. Although, fun story, 2011 Pennsic, I was fighting with a 9-foot spear over a ditch, and I slid on the ditch and fell into a split and still stabbed the guy. Pretty proud of that one. All right, so we're here. So we step. Here we go. Again, we're here. Front foot steps a little bit, back foot steps up. Okay, so that is wood. So in the traditional singing 5 elements, there's metal, water, wood, fire, and earth. Okay. So this one, it definitely seems more staff, to me at least, than it does spear, but it still could work. So this one, what we're going to do is we're going to block up like this, okay? Then my back foot's going to swivel. There's a lot of that in this staff training. Then a hit. So imagine this staff person swinging down at you. So he swings down here, then a hit. Okay. You got that? Make sense? Yes? No? Maybe? All right, so block up. Then imagine your front foot, which in my case now is my left. It sort of stays in one spot. And my back foot, my right, just kind of swivels over. And when you do that, the staff just kind of goes where you need to go anyway. You just put a little extra oomph into it, and you've got the strap. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. So, again, so here, so we block, step. Now, a lot of times, especially nowadays, I've done these so long, I do a little bit of a front step with it. You can do that. That's fine. Won't hurt nothing. Question?
I'm just trying to figure out positioning because I'm having trouble with the reverse image.
You can
But I don't
move
wanna
over
be
there
on
if you like and kind of stand
Yeah,
facing
I'll
that
move
way.
over.
I don't want to be in here.
That's fine.
Somebody's already filming this. So.
No, Chris doesn't care to move.
Yeah, I don't care about.
Yeah, whatever, if that's easier, maybe the condo.
So again, this would be someone chopping down, and you may think, no one would ever do that. I can literally not count the time someone's done that to me. I mean, granted, 2 of the 5 people that's done it the most are here, but still, that's happened a lot. All right, so someone's swinging down at us. So come up here, boom. The only bad thing is, this is not really a legal technique in SCA for the most part. Turn. You could, but you have to be real careful with it. Huh? Yeah, you get it pulling. You could half-hand it with a great sword, but I don't know that I want to. Yeah, but ain't you with that. So again, so here.
Except for Nick doesn't block. He just comes in like this.
That's not untrue.
There's something to be said for the brute force approach.
Nick likes the food.
It's solves a lot of problems. So again, so here.
You know what? Yes,
Boom.
he's not
You give
happy.
me 2 pound steel gauntlets, I'll plug anybody.
Again, up, block, boom, step, bam. There we go. All right, does that make sense there? So we've already done metal, which was here. We've done water, which was there. We've done wood, which was there. Fire, which was there. So earth. Earth is one of mine and Robbie's favorite ones. You can use it in a lot of different weapons, a lot of different ways. Singi, it was called earth. In the European, it's kind of Molinet, basically. So, you can start this a couple different ways. Let's start left side forward. Here, okay? Now, we'll do 2 different versions of it. A more basic and then an extreme. But what I want you to think of is your arm is going to kind of come down like this. Right? Like you've got a cool, I don't know, you're like, come friends, have some soup. You've won this prize. Whatever. I'm a Disney princess. Join my forest. I don't know. Different motions, right? So, when you do that, you're going to let go with your left arm. Then this comes around. Just like that. You may have to choke up on it a little bit. Get that better balance. You may not be able to do the far back end of it. That's okay. So it's like a circle. That's good. Just like that. Yeah, you can do or you can switch.
You're being careful.
Okay, you can switch. So here, so come around. And there we go. So we're coming around, doing a Molinet, hits, Molinet, hits, Molinet, Molinet, also earth and Singi. So earth, bam, and bam. Okay, now, the more athletic version, more extreme version of it is same exactly, don't change anything except take your back leg and step it up. Right, does that make sense? So, if you look at the European stick fighting arms, like Savats and all that, you'll hear the term Molinet. So for them it's more of a general basic idea, and I think that applies to this too, because you can use this with a bunch of different situations and weapons and angles and all that stuff. Right? Right, so let's try it again with a step. So here, come around. Here, come around. Here, come around. Oh, yep, just like that. That's right. All right. Good, perfect.
I do that with knives all the time.
Yes, it's great with a knife.
What's the target on this? This one in front of you or off to the side? Side, right?
Yeah.
Ish.
It's the guy next to the guy in front of you?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the guy next to the guy.
You
Instead
can.
of, instead of 12 o'clock, it's 1 or 2.
Right. Yep, that's the best way to put it. So that is to say, if there's someone here directly in front of me, the only way I can make this work on that is I have to really step it far out or go way off to the side. So it would work, yeah,
Can't point them out in front of you. That's what
right. So you're really wasting a lot of movement there. So instead, it's over further out or it's someone at an angle. So then it's that. And also self-defense wise, you're ready to take off running if you need to at that point.
You just got this guy. This guy's coming up. Do
Oh.
that, and then you take off.
Yeah, that's cool too. All right, so now let's talk about a fun one. You see this a lot of traditional staff forms, Chinese staff forms. I don't know about Japanese. I don't know a horrible lot of Japanese staff stuff. If you are interested, I do know one Japanese staff form. I have it recorded. I'm 93% sure it's on the website already. It was taught to me by a really awesome guy named Master Gillenwater. He passed away about 10 years ago, but we still have that form. I call it the Gillenwater staff form because he taught it to me. I'm 90% sure that's not its real name, but whatever.
It is now.
It is now for us, yeah. So, so one real fun thing that they would do in the, and I know you remember it, the Chinese staff was holding it like this, right? And traditionally they put their other hand here. And there's some story about a one-armed monk who was good with the staff, but whatever. So you take your foot, kick it, and grab. Okay? Now, you can get really athletic with that if you want to. So kick it, grab it, step it out if you need to.
I think I'd just roll my ankle.
Do I?
I would just roll my ankle.
Didn't we used to do that and then start into that spin?
Yeah, you can do that. That's right. So what Chris is saying, you can do that and then start into a spin from there. The big one is that, and the slap and the strike. According to the legend, a bunch of monks, one of the Shaolin temples had been betrayed by the Emperor of China. He was on his way with his army to destroy the Shaolin temple, and the monks went off on the cliff next to the road where the Imperial army was coming up, and they got a bunch of boulders, stuck that in, and then kicked it with their feet to knock them off. Like most Chinese stories, I don't believe, because I think it'd be 1,000 times easier just to leverage it and push it down. But whatever, you know. So here. Now, the European version of that is a little bit different. In the Chinese, they have their grip with the thumb down. European, they have the grip with the thumb up. And you can still do it with a kick if you really want. But most of the time in the European, they did not. They would just bring it up and then stab to the face. Which is legal in SCA if you're using a spear or something like that. So this is my 6-foot spear.
Kill people.
Do I?
Kill people.
Yeah, I was just thinking of you actually. So let's try that. You can either do the European or the Asian, either one you want. You Asian, it's staff grip where thumb would be pointing at the ground and you kind of kick it to the side. If you're doing the European, it's, oh, I'm sorry, I got the, no, I'm good. It's thumb up, you kick it forward. The European? You know, a little bit. I like both. Well, no, I shouldn't say I like both. I like knowing both in case, you know, I need the option for both. Any questions on